See, if you're building a scaled up business in any sector, could be healthcare, food delivery, e-commerce, quick commerce, the real challenge isn't growth beyond a point. It's actually consistency, delivering the same experience across thousands of homes, across thousands of localities every single day. For first-time founders, that's where biggest pain lies. How do you really scale up something that's heavy on operations? How do you prevent everything from falling apart? In this episode, that's what we talk about. We talk about the world of last mile delivery and how operations are built around that. We're starting with healthcare because in healthcare, a mistake doesn't mean refunding the customer. It possibly means it could cost a life. So you'll hear from the founder of Portia. He's building hospital at home infrastructure for India. He breaks down what it takes to build a system, a high trust system, wherein nurses, in fact, live at patients' home. Trust is everything in such a system. And this is not just logistics. This is not just last mile delivery. The mindset and the muscle that you need to deliver care, not just experience, at scale. What do you need to track in such a system? And how do you keep this service running? And how do you prevent faults when people keep faltering?
When you start something of this nature, of this scale, you always look at how to create the services, how to create a business model out of it, how to create the brand. And what is the most critical thing for healthcare? That is credibility. Building something which patients can trust, which customers can trust, I think is the first thing which was the big challenge for us. And in this case, I'm going to 6,000 patients' homes every day. It's ops intensives, my clinicians are there. There are, of course, traffic challenges, rest of the problems, and so on and so forth. It's basically somebody who's coming to take care of your sick relative or sick family member. That person is getting delayed. Think of what will you think? I mean, and we do as intensive care as possible. Say, we set up ICUs at home. So somebody is recovering after discharge from the hospital, or somebody's end of life care. We do that complexity, setting up ventilator at home, hospital beds, doctors, nurses. From that to basically as simple as saying, okay, I'll also come and pick up a blood sample from your house, right? The complete range of services. How do you make sure that this kind of work gets done round the clock without any issues, whether in terms of availability, reliability, or quality? All three are very critical, right? So you have to make sure day in and day out, people are going on time, people are doing great service, people are connected with the back end. You think of this from a clinician perspective. A clinician is in your house. He's in your territory in that sense, right? He needs help. He cannot look to a senior within here to do that. So we have subject matter experts at each zone who are basically handling their queries and things like that. So not only you take care of the patient remotely in that sense, in their homes, you also take care of your own employees who are there in patients' homes, right? So when we hire people, we use the psychometric test, we do all the possible technology we use to make sure that we are able to assess people before they go to the patient home, right? Because in healthcare, the right empathy is very important. I mean, I have to go to somebody's house who is new to me and treat them like my own family member is probably the holy grail of it, right? When you train them, we train everybody for a few days depending on what service they are doing. And then we have this on-the-job training where we continuously engage with the clinician basis what we think they will require. We take patient feedback regularly. Still some 0.04% cases, something will go wrong. And of course, you have to make sure that you have the right ecosystem and the right support system to take care of this immediately. Their reliability becomes very important. Once I'm in your home, I'll take care of you. And sometimes it will happen that this clinician A will not be great. I'll get your clinician B actually. That's a big difference between when you organize this segment. When it's unorganized, I go to somebody's home and I'm not good, they have to find second person. In our case, I'll do that, I'll do the right handover, I'll train the trained person will come and take care of it.
And if they have a bad experience, it's Portia that suffers.
Exactly. So then that's what we need to take care of, and that's where you need to build the right support system, right backup systems and things like that. It's a services business, it's human services business. Long-term services business, right? Where some things will go wrong.
Right.
But the idea is that how do you make sure that those are mitigated, are handled well, and are basically made sure that it doesn't repeat in the same mistake should not repeat actually.
See, Portia owns everything. They own the people, they own the processes, they own the service delivery. But now imagine opposite. Something that's not as heavy stake, something like a food delivery or something like parcel delivery. You don't necessarily have to own the full logistics layer. In such situations, logistics can be outsourced. But then let's look into the backbone of logistics of such last mile delivery startups. So let's listen into Vishak. He really understands the model of Swiggy, Zomato, Porter, and all these last mile service delivery startup. How does logistics work for them? Do they own their fleets? Where is the next opportunity, in fact, in the logistics layer? because it's the backbone. And if this becomes stronger, we'll see more and more last mile delivery startups.
If it is a Zomato or a Swiggy,
Hmm.
so they connect with the end customer
Ah,
and they collect the demand
okay.
from
Ah,
them.
ah,
So
ah,
if you
ah.
want to order food, they
Yeah.
collect the demand from you.
Yes.
Now the next step is delivery, actual delivery and logistics.
Yes.
So if you actually look at this, nobody does it themselves. So the idea here is logistics is a different business in itself.
Mm-hmm.
You build your business based on your core strength. Now imagine that world has demand and supply. If demand is aggregated in a tech fashion
Mm.
and supply is aggregated in a manual fashion,
Mm.
the pace of supply versus demand getting fulfilled,
Supply will
there'll be
keep
a
playing
big
catch
gap,
up. Yeah.
right? That's what is happening in the market. A big supplier can become larger than the largest aggregator in the world.
Got it.
And somebody has to build that large supply,
Hmm.
which can be deployed anywhere and anytime,
Hmm.
which is what demand side has already built. But somebody does this
Hmm.
with a tech plus execution game, they will be the kingmakers. You look at the Amazon story, right?
Ah.
They were able to quickly spread across the world because it's a tech-based product.
Ah.
So if you look at logistics per se, it is not tech-oriented even now.
Ah.
The deployment is manual, procurement is manual, the procuring vehicles is manual, operating it is a very big manual effort, financing is also manual. So there are a lot of stakeholders which act on silos. So
Got
what we
it.
feel is it has to be a hybrid SaaS model.
Enabler sort of a play instead of building another FedEx or a
Yes.
another delivery.
So you can control few geographies
Ah.
with an efficient way of hardware tech that you're building, software tech. And then when you go to a new geography, don't always think that you need to always do logistics. Think about it a little differently. You orchestrate logistics in certain geographies and move
Think
fast.
about what the gap is to solve is.
Yes.
So, no matter what you're building in this last mile delivery space, it could be a healthcare service provider, it could be a home care service provider, it could be cleaning services, like a lot of quick commerce startups are coming up. The founders who are building these spaces are not just solving for scale, they're also solving for trust, precision of experience, and doing that repeatedly. That is your playbook if you're building for this sector.